mahalo for tuning in to Island Focus and joining me in meeting Nanci Kreidman, who is CEO of the Domestic Violence Action Center. Thank you for being with us, Nanci. It's so good to see you again, even under these circumstances.
Thank you for having me. It's really important for the community to understand domestic violence at this particular point in time. We want survivors and victims and children who are at home behind closed doors to know that we know they're being harmed and that we are here to provide support, safety planning, and any kind of help that they need. So thank you for having me.
What are some of the adjustments that your organization is doing some now?
Well, once we were given the directive to stay at home, it was very clear to us at the Domestic Violence Action Center that it was going to be difficult for victims and survivors to make a telephone call. So we added a text feature to our helpline. People can text us any time of day or weekday or weekend. We also added a chat feature to our website. We also made those features available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We want the community to know that we are here and ready to assist and support them.
You've been around, and your organization has been around for many years, addressing this very quiet, but very visible situation. What recommendations or what advice do you have for people now as we're navigating through this?
Well, one of the things we wanted the community to do at the outset was think about anybody they might know who they had concerns about or seen red flags. Reach out to them, listen with an open heart, offer support, let them know that there are resources and that all of our community's domestic violence programs are working and providing services and safety planning and support. Every sector in the community has a role to play. The problem of domestic violence is much bigger than the Domestic Violence Action Center. And so if all of us as a community can notice, use the words domestic violence, and give permission to survivors to reach out, that'll be an enormous help. We're anticipating a landslide after the stay-at-home directive is lifted. We think that people are going to run out of their homes saying things like, he almost killed me, my children are traumatized, we can't live like that anymore. And we're really going to need to position ourselves as a community to meet that demand. And so I call upon all of our community to stand beside us at the Domestic Violence Action Center. If you're a law enforcement officer or a judge or a healthcare practitioner or a clergy person or a teacher, notice the people in your lives and see if there are signs that may be indicators that a family needs help.
I would imagine, too, but based on your comment, that you're also implying that there's a self-recognition in people right now, male and female, that they are in an abusive relationship that maybe they wouldn't have acknowledged before.
Yeah, well, everything is under a magnifying glass right now. When you are at home with somebody all the time, your options and your information is controlled by that person. That's what domestic violence is. It is a pattern of behavior by one person using their power to control the other. And when your world shrinks, it makes it very difficult for you to exercise your own personal choices, interact with other people. We have been receiving a lot of chats from people saying, I think I'm in an abusive relationship. I think I'm in a relationship that's a domestic violence relationship that I hadn't really noticed before. So all of the contacts people make with the Domestic Violence Action Center are confidential and anonymous. So you can call and ask questions, see what kind of help we might be able to provide you so that you can get free and safe if that's what you need, and help you figure out what kind of danger you're in, because each situation is different and different tactics are used by abusers to control their partners.
You know, your organization has been around for many years and has provided that safety net. Now, when people are stuck at home and can't leave, what can they do?
Sometimes when you're in a situation where danger is escalating, it's very hard to figure out what should I do. So there are if you think it through and if you create a blueprint, when you are in danger, you can just execute or implement that plan. Maybe stay out of the kitchen where there are knives or weapons. Stay out of the bathroom where there are hard surfaces and water. Maybe create a code word or an image, an emoji that you can transmit to somebody that you've asked for help and let them know that now you need help. So again, we want to encourage people to think through the possible risks that they're facing and call us and ask us for some information that would work for them when they need it.
As we wrap up our conversation today, what are some of your thoughts as we navigate out of COVID-19?
We haven't had as much attention on the problem of domestic violence since the O.J. Simpson trial. The Domestic Violence Action Center has received multiple inquiries from foundations, businesses, government agencies to lend resources and to lend support. And we desperately need that to continue in order to meet the rising demand. It's a tragedy that a catastrophe like this had to occur for people to take domestic violence seriously. And maybe this will be a launch for us to embrace the challenge that we're facing across the island.
Well, I really appreciate your energy, of course, your lifelong dedicated commitment, and the idea that it's not hopeless, that we do have not only assistance, but that we will get through this and we will return to aloha, and that rebalance can be found in our families.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you, viewing audience, for joining us also on Island Focus. You've just had the opportunity to meet Nanci Kreidman, who is CEO of the Domestic Violence Action Center. Mahalo.